call. You are welcome to present any of your ideas or thoughts, questions. We'll try.
I'm not clear on your name.
Oh, Nityananda.
What does that mean?
Eternal bliss. Eternal bliss. The man who has reached the eternal bliss. The man who is in the path of eternal bliss. Because the bliss does not mean goal, it's a path. The man who is on the path of eternal bliss. Nitya means eternal. Ananda means bliss. There's a title added to it. Swami means, in the Eastern concept, a man who has taken up his life to realize the self. Swa means self, Ami means the I, who has taken up his life to realize the self. That is the meaning of Swami. Yes. Somebody raised the hand. Yes, please.
Can you please share the techniques for meditation?
Okay. I think the technique takes at least half an hour. I think I'll give you the method how to do. You can practice in your own house. If you want the instruction, you can even download it from our website. A clear instructions are given. Of course, I'll try to give the instruction for a simple technique which you can practice, but it takes half an hour. I'll give you only the instruction. Instruction takes only 5 minutes. You can practice in the house. To make your being alive and energetic, to make your being active and energetic. 4 instructions. The first line says, sit straight. Your head, neck, backbone needs to be in straight line. Now you don't have to do. You can listen the instruction and understand. Because practicing it takes half an hour. It's half an hour technique. It says that you have to leave 10 o'clock. I'll give the instruction. You can understand. Backbone, head, and the neck should be in a straight line. You may ask why. Whenever you sit straight, you can always feel you are alert and active. Your body posture and the mind has got very close relationship. You can even sit on the chair or a sofa, no problem. But all these 3 should be in one line. You can never become angry lying down. If you have to become angry, you have to get up. You have to. Can you understand? You can never become angry lying relaxed way. Am I right? Now from this you can understand your body posture and the mind has got a very close relationship. We always think body and the mind is 2 different mechanisms. No. We are not body and mind. We are body-mind. We are one unit which is called body-mind. From this end, the table is near you. From this end, it is near me. We may call it south end or we may call it north end. North end and south end does not have a clear line which separates them. No line. It's one unit. You call it as a north end and south end. The same way, your body-mind is one unit. In one end you call it as a body, the other end you call it as a mind. The subtle body is mind, gross mind is body. So no watertight compartment or no clear border line is there between you and your mind. Your body posture very clearly decides about your mind. So when you want to meditate, allow your body to be alert and aware. Your head, neck and the backbone should be in a straight line. You don't have to bend too much backside, but a straight line as much as possible, comfortably. Next instruction, close your eyes. Not now, when you meditate. You understand now? Why the eyes should be closed? You need to understand, you relate with the world through eyes more than 80%. More than 80%. Only through eyes you relate with the world. we have a very wrong understanding. We see through eyes. No. Now the scientists have discovered we don't see through the eyes, we experience through eyes. They say a small experiment, you can do it in the house. When the temperature is too cold, when you feel too cold, you light a fire in your house. They call it chimney. Am I right? What do you call? Fire? Fireplace. You light a fire. If you turn your face to some other side and just sit, you will not feel the heat too much. You try to do a small experiment. The same fire, you try to gaze at the fire for a few minutes, you will feel the temperature in the body. The same fire, same temperature, you just try to look at the fire for a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. Try to gaze at the fire. You will feel, your body feels the temperature. So never think you only see through your eyes, you experience through your eyes. Eyes play a major role in your consciousness. So when I say close your eyes for the meditation, you allow all the 80% of your energy to work, to be pointed towards your inner being, towards your inner world. So when I say close your eyes, I mean allow your energy to work in the inner field, your inner being. For that you need to understand one more thing. Now, you know only how to close your eyelids. We do not know how to close our eyes. When I say close your eyes, you know only how to close your eyelids, never the eyes. Because now with open eyes, we will be seeing all the scenes. When we close our eyes, we will be seeing all the scenes inside our mind. Inside the mind there is a television which continuously goes on. You will be seeing all the visions, scenes inside. We have to stop that. Unless you stop that, all your energies will not be used or diverted towards the meditation, towards the inner field. So how to stop the inner TV, the television which is continuously going on inside? When you close your eyes, if you just give little pressure on your eyeballs from inside, if you just give little pressure on the eyeballs, if you stop the eyeball movement, continuously you will see the eyeballs will be slowly moving. If you stop by little pressure, there is no need to put much pressure. Just if you put your awareness and stop the eyeball movements through mind, you will see the thoughts come down. The inner TV gets switched off by itself. This is the second instruction. The third, start humming from your abdomen, lower abdomen. You have many energy centers in your system. If you can hum from the lower abdomen, lower stomach, lower part of the stomach, you will see your whole being will be flooded with energy. Let me show you. Keep your hand in a relaxed way and start humming. As loud as possible, as lengthy as possible, as deep as possible. Why should humming be done? Please be very clear, it is not any mantra. No Om. Om is the mantra from Hinduism. I am not teaching you religion. I am not telling you to chant Om. No Om. Only humming. You create vibrations in your body. When you create these vibrations, all your energy centers get activated. One more thing, whenever any thoughts comes up in your mind, don't give importance to the thought. Give importance to the humming sound. In few minutes, you will see your whole being will start humming. Your whole being will be melting and merging into the humming. The basic thing, don't allow your mind to start think. Just allow the humming to happen. If you have cough, if you have a simple trembling, don't bother about it, let it happen. The fourth instruction, sit silently for 10 minutes in a relaxed mood, with a smile and relaxed mood. Let me give you the 4 instructions once more. Sit straight, close your eyes. Sitting straight takes hardly 2-3 seconds, balancing your body. Closing your eyes takes at least 1 minute. If you do it perfectly, give pressure on the eyeballs, at least 60 seconds. Do it continuously for 60 seconds, giving pressure on the eyeballs, not by hand, from inside, from mind. You will see in 60 seconds your mind comes to a calm mood. Your mind comes inside your body. Instead of wandering everywhere, it will start settling into your system. Then third point, third instruction, 20 minutes of humming, a continuous humming. Fourth instruction, 10 minutes of silent sitting. There is a music which exactly guides you in 20 minutes and 10 minutes. That music will help you not to open your eyes due the time of meditation. If you don't have music, after 5 minutes you will think, oh, I think time is up, 20 minutes is over. We may try to check the time. There is no need to disturb yourself in between. Just if you use the music, that's enough. 20 minutes, you will be guided. Then next 10 minutes, just sit silently to allow the energy to work on you. This is a very simple, practical meditation technique which does not need any faith on any guru or on any god, which does not need any religious background, which does not need any food diet, which does not need any rules and regulations, and which is really effective on your system, which can really allow the contemplation or the meditation happen in your being. If you are really interested in exploring the mysticism or the wisdom of inner scientists, you see, if you are only an outer scientist, you really miss something. I tell you, sorry, I don't undergauge or underestimate you, but really tell you, by being an outer scientist, you know the joy of the intellect. The joy of the intellect, that gives a tremendous satisfaction, that gives a tremendous beauty in your being. So an outer scientist can always look at an ordinary man and think, see how poor he is, how much he is missing. A real mathematician, a man who is really expert in the mathematics, he feels orgasmic joy just from mathematics. A man who is really a logician, just by the logical thinking, he feels so satisfied. If you are a scientist, you can understand how much the other persons, ordinary persons, are missing. The same way, you also miss some dimensions. A scientist of intellect misses the joy of intuition. You are a scientist of intellect. You know the joy of intellect, but you miss the other dimension, intuition. A little bit of meditation can give you the other joy also, can make you full, can make you a total being. Because always, when we give importance to the head, we forget the dimension of heart. We forget the dimension of being. So meditation can make you a total human being. A man should be both inner scientist and outer scientist. He should enjoy, he should taste the juice of intellect and intuition. But generally, outer scientist misses the dimension of intuition. The inner scientists, they miss the dimension of intellect. Scientists miss the inner juice. So, if you can meet both, if you can have both, we will be flowering into a totally different dimension. We will be really new beings, ideal beings. Thank you. Whenever you visit India, you are all welcome to my ashram. I can say, the laboratory of inner science. That's what we call it as ashram. Ashram means where the research on the inner science goes on. Just like a laboratory where the scientist research is going on, where things are organized. We have in the East we have a concept, ashram, where the research on the inner field continuously happens. So you are welcome to stay or explore or experiment or experience the world of inner science, the meditation in the ashram.
Better meditation.
Yoga is starting from the body to the mind. Meditation is starting from the mind to the body. You see, by changing all the servants, you cannot change the boss. But by changing the boss, you can change all the servants. Mind is the boss, body is the servant. So yoga starts with the servants, meditation starts with the boss.